Those mass layoffs of federal workers have begun. It's a big story today. The White House Budget Director, Russ Vought, putting it out, announcing that in a social media post, by the way, earlier in the day, about, he's going to start this plan that's been promised. And then the White House telling NewsNation thousands of people are going to lose their jobs, not be furloughed and be brought back. So far, the layoffs hitting a number of federal agencies, including the Department of Health and Human Services, Housing, Urban Development, Education, Treasury. Niall Stanage is the White House columnist for The Hill and joins us once again from Washington. So it's, I wonder how far they'll go with this. And then the question becomes, how far can they go with this? What types of challenges will we see?
Yeah, we're already seeing legal challenges to this, Connell, from some plaintiffs arguing that this is an excessive use of government power. But I do think the other part of your question, how far they will go, is very interesting, because will they in fact ratchet this up further, laying more people off as time goes on as a way to try to up the pressure on Democrats? No one is really in any dispute or doubt that this is a tactic intended to pressure Democrats to give up their battle to win concessions over the government shutdown. The question is, does it work? And as you say, how far does it escalate before it's resolved one way or another?
What would you say about the does it work part and who the pressure is on now politically in the shutdown? We know the pressure's on the real people that are either losing their jobs permanently, like these people might, or that are, furloughed. But who's the pressure on politically right now?
So when this all kicked off, I thought the Democrats were in the weaker position, actually, because it's often the party that tries to leverage a shutdown for some policy change that ultimately loses. What I have been slightly surprised about is polling indicating that a plurality of Americans, in fact, blame the Republican Party for this shutdown. So that obviously poses dangers to the president and, I guess, to people like Russ Vought as well, if they proceed with this tactic of not merely furloughing people, but laying them off, terminating their employment. It's obviously an increase in the stakes. And as you and I were talking about an hour or so ago, we are in a very polarized, entrenched political moment. So, a lot of voters on either side are going to simply cheer on their team, whichever team that happens to be.
Exactly. And the leaders kind of dig in on this. It's kind of interesting to see if there's cracks. Any of the cracks are kind of on the, the moderate wings of both parties, I guess. I mean, Fetterman was already there on the Democratic side, for example, in the Senate. But we've had more, Kevin Kiley I had on from California on the Republican side, some hinting at maybe giving in some on health care. We'll see. But not all are considered moderates. Of course, the Marjorie Taylor Greene news has been really interesting to watch the last few days. But in terms of leadership, here's a clip from Mike Johnson on this kind of back and forth, and who, continuing to just point fingers, say, at Schumer and the Democrats. Here's what Johnson said.
These political antics are frankly ridiculous, and real Americans are being hurt. Chuck Schumer is very clearly, and the Democrats, who are his accomplices here in the Senate, are very clearly causing pain for the American people for their own political survival.
Now, I completely understand that political argument, and you kind of articulated it already, which is basically, hey, if you voted for that clean CR, we wouldn't have this issue, right? But the Republicans are the one in power. They hold the House, the Senate, and the White House, with this man live in the Oval Office right now. So sometimes the people in power are the ones that get the blame.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.